Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Neil and Chris. It is week three already of the ASP FBI challenge.
Hump day.
Giddy up. Man, I hope you've been doing the work. I hope you've been following along. If you are just seeing this for the first time, go back through the videos and look at the last two and you can still catch up. But ultimately what we're doing is we're refreshing the FBI challenge that I did several years ago. And when it's all said and done, if you go shoot it on camera and pass and share the link with me via a private thing, and we'll talk about that later. I'm not selling your information or putting you on any list or anything along those lines. I've got about $1,000 worth of stuff from our sponsors that have donated that is going to come your way. So it's kind of a cool thing. There's a little incentive for you to do this if you want. I would do this for a bunch of free stuff.
I do this
I'd do it for free
every day.
So here is week three. Week three is we're going to introduce the compressed surprised brake.
Correct.
Today's video is brought to us by Mantis. The Mantis family of products is integral to ASP staff building handgun and carbine skills and are your most economical and fastest path to improvement in your skills too. Whether you choose the X10, the Laser Academy, the Blackbeard, or use them all in concert, they will help your practice be more effective, efficient, and fun. Go check them out, pick up a unit, and thank them for sponsoring today's video.
If you have your Mantis unit, great. If you don't, we're going to talk to you on how to do that.
Some workarounds.
Yeah, but we have a workaround. The Mantis unit isn't a requirement of this, but they're a longtime sponsor of the channel, and they were the sponsor of the very first FBI challenge. So we're going to still continue to use their stuff to help us, because I think it's a valuable tool. But the way the compressed surprise brake drill works, and we're going to put a link to some video that we recently made on this, so you can kind of see what the screens look like. But essentially, here I've got my Mantis Titus X. Titan X, not Titus X, Titan X. Yeah, I just got to learn names, right? So here's this thing is pretty cool. If you haven't seen this, then you probably haven't been watching much of the channel, because we did a bunch of videos with these. This is a laser pistol with an X10 unit built in. These things are going to cost like $200. They're not quite on the market yet. In fact, the two that we are using this weekend got the engineers put together specifically so we could make videos. So thank you guys for doing that. Also, this is cool because we've got the laser trainer part of it and all of that. But to show you how the drill works, I'm going to kind of get in and zoom in here. So when we open up the compressed surprise brake, when you hit the go button, it's going to be a series of 5 shots. And I think you can set those, but set it to 5. You're going to go to the wall. So the wall is right there where we finish and feel the pushback. So on your regular gun with your X10, you're going to get to the wall. As soon as you hear the beep, you're just going to break the trigger and then reset it. And then it's going to give you another beep. You're going to break the trigger again. You're going to do that 5 times. And then it's going to give you your score, and you're going to be hopefully above 90% and hopefully below a .2 in time. If you can get down into the low teens, like the .12s and .13s, welcome to the club. But it took me a long time to get there, and I don't know that I can do it anymore.
And it's not bad if you can't.
Yeah, if you can't.
It's just a measurement of where you are.
But I think a reasonable goal is to be around 2. Is a reasonable goal, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to reset it, you're going to do it again. But now instead of your trigger at the wall, like so, I just want you off the trigger just a little bit, even if you want to put your fingernail to the front of the trigger guard or something like that. And at the beep, you're going to pull the trigger. Same thing, reset. And at the beep, we're going to pull the trigger. What you're going to see is your scores are going to go down, because I'm going to exaggerate here, but at that beep, the gun's going to move one way or the other. And now we're learning that when we're clear out here off of the trigger, we have to do more to manage to get the results that we want. And so your goal is still to be, my goal would be to be above 80 and around a .3. I think that's a reasonable, not a terrible high goal, not hard to get to. But if you're way off of that, then spend a little more time there is I guess the point. And then the third trigger is that we're basically doing Gabe White's 3 triggers. Third one, we're at home, and on the beep, we're pulling the trigger, and then we're going back home. And then on the beep, we're pulling the trigger again like so. And we're going to do 5 of those. Each day, you're going to go through all 3 triggers. So it's going to be 15 trigger presses. If you want to spend a little more time, spend a little bit more time. This is my favorite drill there. If you don't have the Mantis unit, You're just doing Gabe's 3 triggers.
Yeah, Gabe's 3 triggers with a par time on a timer or an app on your phone.
Yep.
You'll have to pay a lot of attention to what's going on in your sights because that's going to be the feedback. You're not going to have an external feedback. But let me put some context to why this matters.
Yeah.
So within the FBI qualification, we have some stuff from Ready, some stuff from holster, things like that. So
switching hands at one point.
Yeah, switching hands. So if we're talking about the behavior of the gun during different trigger presses, and what does that mean, and how do we understand that? Do we know kind of what's coming, right? So if you're already in the course of fire, okay, you can be on wall because you're already, and now if you're from Ready, that's where the home to trigger, weird. Or if you're kind of slapping the trigger, if you're in a course of fire where, hey, you might be a little bit slower than you wanted, and now you've got to slap that trigger to get done in time. Now you've got all those bases covered.
And if you do feel like you're running out of time, and that's I think the bigger challenge with the FBI qualification is time messes with our heads.
People's perception of time is often
so
wrong.
Always feel like they're behind. But sometimes if you've shot it enough, you realize, hey, I am behind. I fumbled the reload, and now I really got to go. But if I know what it takes, what I can do to mitigate and at least get an acceptable hit, I can do that. I can do that mental math in my head in the middle of the string and clean things up. So maybe I throw 1, but at least maybe I don't throw 5. So that's this week. It's an easy one. When you're done with the 3 triggers, I just want you to do 50 good trigger presses in open training. Just press out, see your sights. If you don't have the Mantis, again, you've got to be brutally honest with yourself. And I think that's the challenge. When I first started dry firing, I did a virtual class with a fella, and he's like, and he was helping me draw, and he's like, there's your sub-second draw. Did you see your dot? And I'm like, yeah, of course I did. I think I did. Now looking back, heck no, I didn't see it. Because when you see it, you see it. And so be really honest with yourself. You don't have to beat yourself up. Just be honest. If you get those 50 to 60 presses and everything is going great, good. Wrap it up, put your stuff away, go rest. I don't think you need to spend 2 hours in dry fire every single day. You're going to wear yourself out.
Yeah, and give me like 30 seconds on this because this is an important point that I don't know that we've talked about yet. As this plan was built, it's built with a certain number of trigger presses in. But the other thing I want to tell you is if you are not engaged, do not do the repetition for repetition's sake. So if you're just going to say, well, I'm going to do 100 draws today or 100 trigger presses today, but you're not engaged in it and you're not accepting or seeing the feedback that you need to make that a valuable repetition, you're not really helping yourself. So don't be afraid to say, hey, I did my work today, but it's not the day. It's okay. We all have those days.
We do.
Or re-engage.
I have multiple days like that a week.
I get it all the time where I'll let frustration drive me to work. And what I've learned over time is frustration does not yield me results. It yields me more frustration. So that's something to think about. If you find yourself whenever, especially when we're trying to motivate you to dry fire, is just make sure you're engaged in it. That's the biggest part of what we're doing. Those repetitions need to mean something.
There should be a level of work to this. There should be some fatigue in the arms. There should be, you should mentally be there. If you can be mentally present, that's what we want you to be. There should also be a level of enjoyment to this.
Yes.
If this is work and you are dreading it, then stop now. I get it. There's $1,000 worth of stuff on the line if you pass this, but if you are dreading this, next week's going to be worse. And the week after is going to be worse. So you've got to find something that will get you there. And one of the things that I like, again, this is not a commercial for Mantis, but what I like with the Mantis is the community vibe of that because there's the groups and you can take screenshots of your stuff. I used to do this all the time when I first started. John and I would send screenshots of our benchmark every night to each other just to talk crap. And next time you see John, ask him who gets to talk the most crap about benchmarks.
Guys are so unhealthy.
I know it's bad. It's bad, but it's fun. But that added the level of fun. When I'm like, oh man, it's getting to work. Then you know what? Let's make this competition. Let's have some fun with this. Let's make it healthy though. It doesn't have to be an unhealthy competition. That if I can't beat John at this, then I'm not. Then I'm worthless. Or if John can't beat me, that he's worthless. It's that, you know what? We're both pretty decent shooters. We're both pretty close on this stuff. And he will constantly tell people that he thinks I'm a better shooter than him. On any given day, this guy's got me. Any given day. He is a great shooter to boot, but we have fun with it. So if you find yourself getting frustrated and dealing with frustration, find the fun. Figure out what it is and why are you doing this? Are you just doing it because Neil and Chris are doing it? Are you just doing it to join us in the app for our dry fire sessions? Are you just doing it for the contest? Are you doing it to get better? But you figure out why you're doing it. And
that's so hard for me, because like as soon as you say that, because as we've been going through these videos, kind of want to touch on, yeah, having a chance to win the prizes is awesome. But you know what? You absolutely will win if you do this work? Some skill.
Yeah.
And that just comes without a drawing.
Yep. Yeah, and you know, and if your worst day comes and you're in a shooting, you're going to be better. If you start doing competition because you've never done it before, you'll still be better.
Yep.
All of these things are going to make you a better shooter. If you're already doing some competition, you can always be better. You know that already if you're in competition, and you know dry fire is the way to do it. So thanks for coming along. See us this week. If you're in the app, we'll be doing our dry fire sessions again this week.
And hope to see you guys.
Hope that we see you there. Join us.